Hello and welcome to BirdNoise, an Eagles fan podcast. I'm your host, Dominic Estes. Today, I will be discussing the playoffs and where I think the Eagles will end up in the seeding, who they'll have to play, things like that. However, before I get into the playoffs and all of that, I just want to say, I was listening to GPS this week and Tom Grossi and Brandon Perna brought up a good point. The Eagles are in the playoffs. We've made it to the dance. If our coaches can figure things out, then there's no telling where we could go. The Eagles are a good team. Don't get me wrong. And don't think that because the Eagles have struggled over the past few weeks that they're not a good team. They have the talent around them. If the Eagles make a run, who knows what could happen. So as fans, we need to calm down. Because there are going to be 32 minus 14, that's 28. There are going to be 18 teams that didn't make the playoffs. Their fan bases are just as upset that their teams didn't make the playoffs as we are that our team has made the playoffs, yet we're struggling and and yes, we should not be losing to the Cardinals, but we did. So, and I get it. Philadelphia has a high standard that they hold their Eagles to. This Eagles team has not been playing to that standard. I get that 100%. But as fans, we need to calm down a little. Do I still want Matt Patricia off the team? Yes. Do I still think we need a new offensive coordinator? Maybe. But it's just going to depend on what goes on these next few weeks that we make the decision on who stays, who goes, and what happens during the offseason. But you never know what could happen in the NFL playoffs. All right, so getting into the playoffs. The Eagles blew a chance at the NFC East title last week when they lost to the Cardinals. And now going into Week 18, while the NFC East still is up for grabs, Dallas would have to lose to the Commanders, and I really don't see them doing that, as much as I hate to say it, in order for the Eagles to have a chance at winning the division. If the Cowboys win, the division is guaranteed to go to the Cowboys, which would continue the streak of no repeat winner since 2004. But if the Cowboys lose somehow against the Commanders, then the Eagles could get the division if the Eagles can beat the Giants. Now, where are the Eagles in the seeding? Currently, the Eagles hold down the 5 seed, which means they would play the winner of the NFC South, which could either be the Bucs, Saints, or Falcons. I'm okay with the Eagles playing any one of those 3 teams. Would we struggle? Yes. Would we win? Probably. However, there are no guarantees right now. Now, if the Eagles get the 2 seed by some miracle and Dallas loses and the Eagles end up winning the division, then they would play the 7 seed. The 7 seed at the moment is Green Bay. I'd be okay with an Eagles-Packers playoff game. The Packers, their defense is splotchy. It made Bryce Young and the Panthers offense look good. And if the Packers defense plays badly against the Eagles, then we could maybe see a resurgence on their offense and then figure things out. But I'm going to be honest, I would also like to see Green Bay go up against the Cowboys this year. I don't know what it is, but I think that would be a fun game. That's where the Eagles could land. Everything's still in flux. Green Bay could miss out and the Seahawks get it, in which case the 2 seed would play the Seahawks. It's a crazy last week of football. We're just going to have to see what happens, who wins, who loses, who's in, who's out, and then we can get into the playoffs. Another thing I wanted to mention, possible storylines in this year's playoffs are insane. The Rams and the Lions are currently set to match up in Wild Card Weekend. Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit with his new team and taking on Detroit. That would be a very interesting game. And depending on what happens on Wild Card Weekend, Joe Flacco could possibly be leading the Browns to a meeting with the Ravens. I don't even know where this season went off the rails at, but it's gone a little crazy. So again, playoffs are here. Well, they're not really here. They'll be here next week. But the playoffs are right around the corner. Yes, the Eagles should be a little concerned. Should we be panicking like we are? Probably not. I have complete faith in Nick Sirianni. He has done a great job with that team. And I think he is a really good head coach. He just needs better coordinators and he'll be fine. I keep seeing these things popping up in my social media feed about, oh, Nick Sirianni should be gone. I don't really think he should be gone. The offensive and defensive coordinators, maybe. But I don't think Nick Sirianni's going anywhere. He just led us to the Super Bowl. So everybody who's calling for Nick Sirianni's head, I think we need to give him some time. Everybody has those down years. I know that a down year is not what the Eagles wanted after last season, but that is what could happen, unfortunately. So, just try and keep your cool. I'm sure everything will be fine. This has been BirdNoise. Feel free to like and subscribe. And as always, fly, Eagles, fly.